Hi everyone, and welcome to Live on Xbox for the month of October. I'm Sean.
This is Austin.
And we're excited to be with you today as we talk about everything Xbox and everything video games. So, let's get right into it. There was a lot of I wouldn't say a lot of big news, just big news from Microsoft and Xbox this past month. Do you want to start touching on that?
Yeah, so we'll start with one of the bigger ones. That would be Mike Ybarra, who was the head of Xbox, or vice president of gaming, had recently announced that he was leaving the company after 20 years of being with them.
And that was really surprising. I saw that, I was like, whoa, we're shaking things up now?
Yeah, and it's kind of weird timing too. Not weird timing, but coincidentally, Sean Layden, who was in charge of Sony, Sony America, had recently left. So it's just interesting that two major guys for competing companies would leave at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Big shakeup in the industry, and it's just right on the verge of new consoles too.
About a year out, yeah.
And did you hear about the guy at Atari as well?
No, I didn't.
So, Atari's been pretty quiet, but they do have their own console.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite computer games was made by Atari.
Yeah, so, if I'm not mistaken... What the heck is this?
I don't know.
Okay, so just for you guys, I searched Atari, and it came up with Atari Breakout.
Which is the Brick Breaker game.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, the Steve Jobs game.
Sure.
He actually programmed that for Atari.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm just pulling up this Atari news, seeing if I could find it. But yeah, Atari, when I was reading, they also had a major player leave as well. Architect behind... here it is. From Engadget. Headline is, the architect behind Atari's VCS retro console just quit. Which is a big deal because they're trying to get back into the console business.
Oh, was that... I remember they had announced with a video showing off a concept of what they wanted to release, right?
Yeah. So that was a couple of years ago now, but it seems like they still plan on going ahead with that, so...
It'll be interesting. I wonder if it'll be like a Linux-based or Android-based console.
Yeah, it's...
Because I don't see them making a new platform for people to put
No,
games onto.
and I also don't see publishers jumping on board with other stuff either.
Yeah.
So I think if it's Linux-based, then you have games already made for Linux. So yeah, just some shakeups around the industry right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stadia... There's some interesting wording from Stadia, at least.
So Google is now using a term called...
Negative latency.
So what they're saying is that Stadia is so good that they can induce negative latency to your console. So they're using an AI algorithm that will predict your input or something like that.
Yeah, and just to be clear, Google, video games processors, that's what I'm trying to say, processors already do, to an extent, predict what you're going to input next. It's just that's how a computer becomes so responsive. But what Google is saying is, hey, we're not going to have latency on Google Stadia because we're going to know before you know what you're going to do.
Yeah, so one of the first things I thought of was if you're playing a game very reaction-based, like Dark Souls or something where it's you have a certain amount of frames to do a move or else you're done, will they just input, say you're okay at the game and they...
Don't click anything.
Yeah, and they've determined, okay, he's probably going to dodge this. Will they just dodge it for you even though that's not what you're going to press?
Yeah, and they also said that part of negative latency is also going to be their high frame rate. But, so for me... That just tells me that, you've never made the jump to a high frame rate.
Not yet, no.
No, but when you go to high frame rate, it does feel more responsive. So, to me, that sounds like they're banking on the console gamers to trick them into thinking that it's more responsive because they've never experienced this high frame rate.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Stadia is going to be something that you'll have to use it to prove it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and we're going to get word on Stadia soon because that comes out right away, I believe.
Yeah, just at the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, and then we're going to get direct comparisons with XCloud because the beta is coming out as well.
But what I'm worried about being with Google, like Google's a great company, but they're known to abandon projects.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to whether or not if like Stadia doesn't get the audience that it wants, but there's obviously going to be some people who really like it. And what if they just drop
and the problem with that with Stadia is it's not a subscription. You're buying these games for full price after you pay for your Stadia.
I thought it was a subscription.
No,
service.
you subscribe to the service instead of buying a console or a computer, and then you buy the games
on top of that.
So if they write out abandon Stadia, then it's like
you lose your games, or
it's like putting all this money in and you're done. It's like I like what Nvidia's doing. They have the same idea where you're with GeForce Now, where you subscribe to them.
Yeah.
And then you buy your games, but those games are not linked to GeForce
Now. No. If they're in like your Steam library or whatever, you can play them and then run it through the GeForce service.
Yeah. So, but then if you're not a GeForce subscriber, you don't lose those games.
Yeah.
So maybe Stadia is going to run something like that. Maybe. And Google could always open a game store as well, if it fails.
Like
let's say Stadia crumbles.
Yeah. When they just tack that onto their Google Play.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Like they could make a store face for people as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean it would go along with the books and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think Google would find a way to make it work to some capacity if Stadia fails. So moving on though. Today the biggest news in gaming. Fortnite Season 10 came to an end. I don't think Season 11 came to a start.
No, it was underwhelming and kind of frustrating for me, at least. What happened was I wanted to be part of the event. I played, I'm a Fortnite player, so I'm like, hey, I'll join this thing. I tried joining. Can't even get into it. It's almost like you needed to be logged in an hour beforehand. And after it did happen, I mean, so all the stuff in the game, there's some stuff frozen in time, so they let everything go and went into this portal, caused a black hole, sucked everything in, and then it paused on a black hole kind of loading screen. I'll have to pull it up here.
Yeah, and like the interesting thing was like I tried logging on 10 minutes in advance, and I couldn't even open the Epic launcher, and then people from online were also saying that like 16 minutes ahead of time. They got into the Epic launcher and it was saying servers were offline already. So that was very, very disappointing.
This is what it looked like. Well, it's currently like
That's currently what it looks like. You could follow their stream on their Twitter page. And it's just that black hole. It is expected that in the next... Well, at first it was expected that within maybe the 2-hour range, it would start Season 11 because that's their regular update window. Oh, a little bit see-through there. Hey,
yeah.
Oh, well.
We're still working on
our
chroma key green screen situation here.
Giving us trouble today. But anyways, it was expected that within maybe 2 hours, it'd be back up because server downtime is usually 2 hours. Well, 2 hours later, it's still down. We're now 5 hours later and it's still down. So we'll see if it comes back up. It's kind of funny to see the Twitter reactions to this right now.
Yeah, even before like Twitter, people tweeted out all these like jokes and stuff. I had always said they're probably just going to shut it down, take your money, and leave.
That was kind of the thing we were talking about. It was that thinking of we're probably going to get a new map, but they're calling it the end. So how funny would that be if they just ended Fortnite?
I mean, they have no obligation to keep it up. It's a beta.
Their website's gone, apparently.
If they considered the beta non-successful in the company's mind or whatever, they could just drop it like a hot potato and leave.
Yeah, like their website's not even here anymore.
It's just a live stream on the Twitch.
Do you want to...
Yeah, I can pull it up.
So, and then I still see some of their tweets, but a good majority of their tweets on Twitter are gone too.
I don't know. It's slightly disappointing.
It's kind of like it has people wondering now: is it done, or is it or is this just the first kind of meta? Like, I don't even want to call it meta. It's just that first outside storyline thing where it's not in game. So it's really odd.
Yeah.
And numbers are spouting out of that thing too. We can't see them because our contrast.
I saw a letter.
Yeah, so the black hole every now and then does spit out something, but no one knows what it means yet.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's some people who really dive into the Fortnite like the meta lore.
Yeah, there's a few really good YouTubers who do it.
Yeah, but for me, it's like I'll let them figure it out, and I'll sit on the sideline.
Yeah.
Once it's figured out, hey, that's cool. But I just want to play my game.
It is interesting to see that there's all the stuff going into the game, but they're not explicitly throwing it in people's faces.
What I would like is just a little bit of communication on their end. So, because
yesterday they started up a new Fortnite Twitter saying like Fortnite status. And that happened yesterday, and we haven't received a Fortnite status on what's going on here.
Yeah, but luckily for me, I have other games that I'm playing. I'm not just dedicated to Fortnite. Yeah. I've been playing a game called Enter the Gungeon, which is pretty fun. We played some stick fight through Steam.
Yeah, on PC there.
And then Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile. Oh, right, that came out in the past month.
Yeah, not an Xbox game, not a console game.
Not a console game. It's still a game, and that's what we're all about.
Possibly the best mobile game I've personally played.
Yeah.
I mean, the marketplace on that thing, just like any mobile game, is broken. You could buy.
It's pay to win.
Pay to win.
But it's impressive that hasn't been the case yet.
Yeah. And it's fun. If you guys have space on your phone and you want to play Call of Duty on the go, it's definitely the right kind of game.
Well, and what's impressive about Call of Duty Mobile is when you play most heavy games on your phone will heat up right away. Your frames will start dropping. It's not something you could do long term. Not at all. But with Call of Duty Mobile, they seem to optimize it, have it optimized perfectly, where your phone doesn't heat up, you're not dropping frames. We played for 3 hours last night?
Yeah.
And we didn't have a single issue. The biggest frustration with Call of Duty Mobile, though, and this is just any game really, ping.
Well, our network is notoriously terrible.
Yeah, so. We're finding out just how important. I was thinking about this the other day, though. You know, when people talk about internet for gaming, they're like, you need fast internet. You need 300 megabits down. No, you need good ping. You don't need fast download speed. You need fast
upload
connection.
Well, it's a mix of both. But our situation here in this house is unique, as in like we have a good package, but whatever's going on behind the scenes is just they're killing our network. Yeah. So I don't really know what's going on there.
Oh, I know we've kind of gone away from this, but talking about the streaming platforms, we're talking about Stadia, XCloud, and Latency and all that. And I tried Steam's streaming service, Steam Link, which is available. It used to be a little console thing you had to buy for your TV, but now you can throw it on any Android device.
Yeah, it's open source.
Raspberry Pi, you can install it on there.
Yeah.
I think it fell.
Oh, okay. I had one up here.
Yeah. But basically, you could play that, and you could stream your Steam games from your computer to that box. And I was trying that out. And, dude, I couldn't even play Crash Bandicoot on that. The latency was terrible, and that's in my own house. So,
yeah, I don't know what the market is for something like that.
So I'm just worried, like, that's my first experience with game streaming. So, like,
Negative latency.
Negative latency.
Negative latency.
It's going to be the best.
So I don't know. Well, I'm a wait and see kind of guy with this stuff, so we could speculate all day. But
especially because with XCloud, there's going to be two different ways of doing it too. There's your home console, which I think is going to frustrate most people, and then there's going to be their servers, and I think their servers will be fine, but I think most problems will happen on the home side. So, anyways, moving on. This is not really Xbox related. Do we want to touch on the PS5?
I mean, you can inform me, because I haven't looked into anything about the PlayStation 5 news that's been coming out, just because I don't. Is it official news or is it?
It was official news. It's officially the PS5.
So weird the way they're talking about this.
Yeah.
PlayStation has not had a proper conference to discuss like their console. So I don't pay attention to these articles because to me it looks like speculation. But then if you're saying it's official, it's just a weird way of going about announcing a console, like the specs of a console.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I could.
I did see that there was leaks about the design of the thing.
Yeah, I don't.
I have
trust
those documents downloaded. I read them. I don't know.
I don't trust the.
Wait, go back. Seeing. Go back to that. Go back to all. Is that real?
I doubt it. I've never heard of T3 as a website before. Do you want to show the folks?
Yeah, I could pull this up.
Yeah, that's not from Sony.
That's a pre-render, a prototype render.
Yeah, that's the one that's going around everywhere.
Here, this is what we were seeing. So this is a mock-up of the documents I was talking about, the leaks of I think it was like a patent or something that they put in. So this is a mock-up that I think someone else did of it. But the way that whatever website, this is T3, I don't know, this is the clickbait of clickbaits I've ever seen. Sony PS5 looks absolutely incredible in PlayStation 5 video. There's been no official video as far as I understand. It's just some mock-up.
Yeah, right? So I'm on The Verge right now, and I saw other reports of this earlier, but Sony has confirmed that it's going to be called the PlayStation 5. I don't think that's ever in doubt. They've never named a console differently. They're not like Microsoft or Nintendo. And it's been confirmed for holiday 2020. So that's big because now it is confirmed it's going head-to-head with Project Scarlett.
And is it on par?
The specs, wow, that's what I did this for. Okay, there's not a huge list. Like, I saw one that was side by side. Anyways, it's the same AMD. It's based on AMD Ryzen, both of them. It's going to have SSD. It's going to have ray tracing from AMD, which is big news because right now AMD does not have a ray tracing graphics card on the market. So people are speculating that Sony just leaked that.
Okay.
And it's going to have 4K Blu-ray.
And an SSD?
And SSD.
Okay, so that's very similar to the Scarlett video that we got in the summer.
Yeah, and like I did see a chart side by side, and it was the exact same. I just can't remember where I saw this chart. Oh, here we go. GameSpot.
Send me that link.
Yeah.
Pulling it up here, folks.
Yeah, that one there. All right. So we're just going to share this with you guys. So they're both 8-core Ryzen Ryzen processors. They both have AMD. Oh, this is actually more detailed than the one I saw. So they haven't announced how much RAM the PS5 will have. I'm predicting 16. If not 16, they're going to have 32. They won't have less than that. Both have SSDs. I don't think Scarlett ever confirmed a 4K Blu-ray player though.
I mean, they'll put it in.
That's one of those that I'm kind of on the fence for because they went with the all digital console recently.
They'll put it in.
So I'm open for
it. I'm going out there and I'm saying it will be.
Yeah, so the specs are all very, very similar. Backwards compatibility has been confirmed for the PS4.
Just for PS4
games. For PS4 games, yeah.
Do you think that how the PS4 can handle PS2 games now and all that stuff? Do you think that
You mean through PlayStation Now?
I thought that you could actually purchase them.
I believe it's only through PlayStation Now.
Okay, sorry if I'm misspeaking.
We're not PlayStation guys.
I don't know that ecosystem as much as I do the Xbox, but I thought that you could purchase the older games from their...
I think it's only through PlayStation Now.
Okay, well, anyways, Xbox does have a leg up on them when it comes to backwards compatibility.
Yeah, but, it's going to be interesting how this next one goes because in terms of quality of the games, it's going to depend on how they optimize their software for their hardware.
Like one of the biggest games that Sony recently showed gameplay for was The Last of Us
Yeah,
Part
Last
2.
of Us Part 2.
Is that a PS5 game or is that
That's
a PS4 game?
PS4 game.
Okay, because The Last of Us, the first one, came out at the end of the PS3's life cycle too, as well. So,
yeah, it's a PS4 game.
Okay.
It'll probably get a PS5
Yeah, it'll get
remastered.
Ported over.
Yeah.
Just like the Last of Us original.
Whether it's for... I don't think it'll be much in terms of graphics, but it might be a difference between 30 and 60. Who knows? Or 120, sorry. They're boasting 120 frames.
Yeah.
And 8K. So that's probably what the remaster will be.
Okay.
So... But, yeah, just interesting news that both of them are going to be very, very similar consoles because that hasn't been the case in the past.
I think that this time around with these consoles, it's not going to be like when the PS4 and Xbox One came out, because of how bad the Xbox One was marketed, PlayStation had a leg up, you know.
Yeah.
We ended up buying a PlayStation 4 first. Before an Xbox One, just because, you know, it sounded like the better console. It very well could be.
It could have been.
Could have been a
the
better
games
console.
weren't there at release.
Yeah. So I think that everyone's going in there like very even, you know.
And let me just correct my statement. The games weren't there for us at release.
I think our first game was Knack. So
Knack, we had Madden.
Yeah, Madden 20.
No,
not
25.
Madden 20. 20. The anniversary one.
It was the 2014 one.
Yeah. Anyways, the games didn't grab us. I had Infamous. I mean, I played Infamous Tomb Raider.
Infamous Second Son.
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't have Tomb Raider for that one, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I eventually got rid of it. But that being said, I think going into this new console release, everyone's on even playing field.
I think it's going to be even playing field. It's going to be really the first bunch are going to be determined by the fans of the consoles, like Team Xbox and Team PlayStation.
So if you bought a PS4 and you have played the PS4 since 2013, you're probably going to end up buying a PS5.
Because you're in that ecosystem. But new gamers, it's open market.
Yeah, and you're not losing anything. I mean, just exclusive games, right? You're not really losing anything going to either console. I think that's what I mean by even playing field. Like the specs are.
Yeah, and I think similar. In terms of exclusives as well, they're pretty even because right now all Sony has really is the sequels of their previous games, where Microsoft is really creating these new IPs and bringing these in, right?
Halo might be a big one.
Halo's going to be big, so I'm quite excited. Like it's going to be a good generation, I think.
Yeah.
And Microsoft, by the sounds of it, is building it a lot more like a PC as well. It's running Windows, so I'm hoping there's going to be. I hope they really dive in deep with that Game Pass and Play Anywhere.
I think if Phil Spencer brings Xbox, keeps going in the direction that he's been going for the past 3 years,
4 years,
4 years, then we'll be in a really good spot. Halfway through Scarlett's lifetime or whatever you want to say. Like, it will be some of the best times for gaming.
Yeah, I think this next decade is going to be the best decade for gaming. So, on that note, let's talk about our games for gold.
Okay. Just pulling them up here. All right, games with gold for October 2019. We have Tembo, the Badass Elephant, from October 1st to the 31st. Is that really
what it's called?
Yes. And it surprisingly only rated E10+. Friday the 13th, the game, available on October 16th, ends on the November 15th. Disney's Bolt, available, that's a 360 game, available from October 1st to the 15th. Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, this is a 360 game as well, available from the 16th to the 31st.
And then new releases. So just in case you guys haven't caught on, now that we're doing a monthly show, the new releases are the ones coming up in the next few weeks from our show. Like, it's not going to be ones that came out last week. It's not going to be ones coming out 2 months from now. It is this next month.
So, for example, this will be from the 15th to the 18th of October.
So, like the next 5 days.
Next couple days here. So we have Children of Morta on October 15th, Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition / Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. These are those isometric RPGs from back in the they came out on PC quite a few years ago. Very classic games. That comes out on October 15th. Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Editions, also an isometric RPG, classic, comes out on the 15th. The Fisherman, Fishing Planet, comes out on the 15th. Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip comes out on the 15th. This coincides with the film's release. Just Ignore Them, October 16th. Soul, October 16th. Ping Redux, October 16th. Sea Salt, October 17th. Felix the Ripper, October 17th. Stella, October 17th. The Jackbox Party Pack 6,
with
October
the Jackbox,
17th. I've played it.
I've played them too. I'm just surprised that they're not making these updates or DLCs. Like, it just seems like they're doing a lot of work for something that could be a DLC.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Stranded Sails, Explorers of the Cursed Islands, October 17th. Kine, October 17th. Pig Eat Ball, October 18th. Orbital, October 18th. Return of the Obra Dinn, October 18th. Driven Out, October 18th. Ice Age Scratch Nutty Adventures, October 18th.
Still
if I'm not
just milking
mistaken,
it.
this might be a mobile game that is getting ported over.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong.
Remember the game you had for your DS back in the day?
Ice Age 2.
Yeah, that was a good one. They do make good video games.
Well, that was back in the heyday of...
Back in the heyday, man.
Back in the days where licensed movie games were alright. Okay, so we got Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. This is technically the third person Plants vs. Zombies shooter game.
Okay, so it's that's not including the mobile games then.
No, this is a third-person shooter built on the Frostbite engine, same engine that they built Battlefield on.
Oh, right, it's an EA game.
Yes, it's...
Folks, expect DLC.
I... Ignore him. I've played the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 1 and 2. Very fun games. If you are... like, younger audiences will love this.
Yeah.
They'll love this. And even for some older gamers who like more casual shooters, very good too. I won't go out and buy this at full price, but if it's on sale,
play it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good buy. All right, so back to the last game here, which is Mega Aquarium, October 18th.
Alrighty.
Right, so that wraps up the games
That
coming out.
wraps up the games. Before we go, we'll just talk about what we've been playing lately. What have we been playing lately?
Well, what have you been playing?
I played a little bit of Fortnite. I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Check out our video on that. They have really, really improved that since last time. I played it 2 years ago. So that one was a pleasant surprise. I've also been playing... I finished up the Tomb Raider series. That was a really good play, and I'm really glad I went back and finished that third game. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I played Gears 5. I made a video on that as well. I played a little bit of Gears of War Judgment. I played Enter the Gungeon. I have played Fortnite. I have played Forza Horizon 4.
Yes.
Forza Horizon 4.
Good game.
I booted up Destiny 2, which became free to play this month.
Oh, right. Destiny 2, free to play. Check it out. I did boot that up for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I got in there for a little bit just to see if I could get started. And I don't know if there's anything else I've been playing. I've got too many games on my Xbox right now. I just started preloading The Outer Worlds, which is Obsidian's RPG, the last one they do before they're underneath the Xbox brand.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for that game. A lot of New Vegas fans are excited for that game.
And they're touting as the original Fallout creators, right? Like they're basically saying, hey, we made the best Fallout. Follow us onto this new one.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of people view New Vegas as the
best 3D.
The best 3D new iteration of Fallout. So I think a lot of those fans, that's not an exclusive though, right?
No.
So I think a lot of those fans are excited for that. But imagine if that was an Xbox exclusive.
That'd be huge. It's a Game Pass game right away.
Yeah, Game Pass PC and Xbox. So if you have Game Pass, check it out.
Yep. I'll be playing it for sure.
Yep. We'll probably have a video on it. I don't like to promise videos, but big game. So, alrighty. I think with that, we're good to go. If you're in Canada, happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the day off tomorrow. And for everyone else, Thanks for tuning in. I'm Sean.
This is Austin.
And, like, subscribe, share. A like and a share go a long ways for us, and we really appreciate that if you would do that for us. Thanks for tuning in. And, yeah, I'm Sean.
Austin here.
And keep gaming, gamers. Have a good one.